Hey guys, hey y'all. Welcome to Northwest Animal Hospital. I thought I would do a little video to discuss the holidays and what to be thinking about. I did one around Halloween and it was about candy, and you can go watch it to see what to do, especially if your pet ingests something that they shouldn't. But I wanted to go over a couple other things you should be thinking about, and if anyone views it live and has questions, you can ask me. So I made little notes over here, so if I'm looking, that's why. Number one, decor. Everyone wants their house to look festive, but there are a couple things you need to watch for. You do need to watch your candles, especially if they're lit. Cats like to get on counters, and dogs' tails, especially if you have big dogs, can be a little crazy. So that's an easy thing to kind of watch for and make sure those are out of the way. Foreign bodies. I personally had a cat eat Christmas string, and the Christmas string started coming out of the rear end, and that cat needed some help to pass that. So this time of year, it's not just the dogs getting into things, it's the cats too, especially with ornaments and Christmas strings and things like that. Mistletoe is cute, and if you want to snuggle up and kiss on somebody, they're great, but mistletoe can be toxic, so you want to watch the mistletoe that you have in your house. Now, everyone has family, everyone has friends, whether you're going out of town to someone else's house or you have somebody coming to your house, you probably want to make sure that your house guests maybe have a couple ground rules. So no feeding the pets unless it's something you've approved. We want to try to keep stress to a minimum. Watch kids with your pets, especially if you might have ones that are a little more nervous or a little reactive to things. Kids are scary to pets. Kids are loud, kids are fast, so you probably want to make sure that they're aware of anything that might stress out your pet or stimulate them, because you don't want anything to happen. We see pets with diarrhea like crazy during the holidays, and a lot of times it's just changes in schedule or a house guest or a family member who was just trying to be nice, give a little treat, and it ends up being something that causes the pet to have an upset stomach. We do not want to see you for an upset stomach over the holidays. So if you can just lay some ground rules, that would probably help out us, probably help out you, and help out your pets. Now, food. We already know chocolate. There's an easy calculator on the pet poison hotline. You can call the pet poison hotline, tell them your dog's weight, what kind of chocolate they ate. They will tell you the toxicity level and whether you just need to monitor. You can try hydrogen peroxide to make them throw it up, or if you can actually need to take them in and get some fluids and some treatment for that. The other things are raisin and grapes. There's lots of things that are cooked with raisin and grapes over the holidays, so watch that. It can take one grape. I work at the emergency clinic, and one grape can cause your pet to have kidney failure, so you definitely need to watch that. Sugar-free gum. A lot of people aren't aware that xylitol is in sugar-free gum, and that is highly toxic to pets. Again, doesn't take very much, so you need to be careful. Bones. Do not feed your pet bones. Bones usually are not absorbed very well. Occasionally they can be broken down in the stomach if they're small enough, but I really, really don't want to do surgery on your pet to take out bones. That is something so easy to avoid. Watch your trash, because sometimes it's not even you that did it. It's your pet that smelled something really yummy and decided to eat the bones. So please, please watch for bones. Onions and garlic. We like lots of flavor in our food, but onions and garlic are toxic to pets. So just make sure anything raw that's laying around is cleaned up and that they don't eat anything that has it in there. Leftovers are yummy, but you got to be careful which ones you give to your pets. Now, what can you give your pets over the holidays? Obviously, their regular food, their regular treats. Have those available so house guests, friends can give them those things. But if you're cooking and you have vegetables, they can eat any raw vegetables pretty much that you're cooking. Favorites in my house are carrots and green beans, sweet potatoes too. Any of those things, not toxic to animals, and a lot of times they like the crunch. If they're cooked and they don't have a lot of seasoning, it's also safe for them to have those things. So almost any vegetable that is basically bland, raw, or cooked is gonna be okay. Turkey meat, it's usually okay for most dogs unless you have dogs that are prone to pancreatitis, which would be small dogs, schnauzers, westies. There's certain terrier breeds that are certainly more prone to that condition. So in them, I would never feed anything that wasn't their regular food, and maybe a treat that you already know doesn't cause problems. But big dogs with iron stomachs, definitely a little bit of juicy turkey doesn't hurt, and it probably is very yummy to them. So I hope that some of this helps. You've probably heard it before. If you have any questions, you can always call us. What happens if your dog does get stomach upset? So it can be anything from a stress diarrhea to actual foreign body to pancreatitis, which is a really serious medical condition. I just posted an article on our Facebook page about it, so you want to take a look. If your pet is eating and drinking normally, not throwing up, and is just having a little bit of diarrhea, you can try some canned pumpkin and bland food for a day or so, maybe a dose of Imodium to see if that clears it up. But if your pet continues to have diarrhea, is acting lethargic, won't eat, and especially if they're vomiting, they need to be seen. Something like a bone can cause a lot of trauma if it's in there, and if it's pancreatitis, they often will require medical treatment, whether it's in-house hospitalized or outpatient, but supportive care is really important in those conditions. So it's sometimes hard to differentiate. I usually would give a pet 24 to 36 hours if they're eating to see kind of what they do. But I definitely think that if you're concerned, and especially if they're not as perky as they normally are, or they act painful in their bellies, if their bellies feel tense and hard, you probably want to have them looked at. The sooner we address those conditions, the better for them. And usually they will respond quicker to treatment. So I know this has been long. I'm really sorry. I hope it's a little bit of good information for you going into the holidays. Watch your decor, watch what you're cooking, make sure you have healthy treats around, and make sure you train those guests and set up some rules for them so that we don't have to see you and your pet over the holidays. We want to have you guys be safe and happy, have good travels, and if you have any questions, you can certainly call us at 817-488-7533. Thanks, guys. Have a good holiday.